Hello and welcome to Star Xpose TV. My name is Aldwyn Altuney. I'm the host of the show, and we have a very special guest today all the way from Mexico, coming to us live right now. It's nearly 1 a.m. her time at the moment, and this is how it goes generally when you're in the entertainment industry. You could be working all hours, and the person that we're going to be chatting with today, she is a screenwriter from Australia, and we're going to be talking about how to create a film from start to finish. Now, our screenwriter today, she has written feature films and short films since 2006, and she wrote the comedy film Welcome to China after working there as an English teacher for 2 years. She's now currently working closely with Canadian screenwriter Orlanda Szabo on 2 more feature-length screenplays, Rogan'sWar, which is a political thriller and sci-fi, and Mr. Forever, which is a supernatural comedy. Please welcome Kaz Drysdale. Hello, Kaz.
Hi, Aldwyn. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us all the way from Mexico. And where are you right now in Mexico?
I'm in a fabulous place. It's the Mayan Riviera, they call it. And just down my street, there's a fabulous beach, which why I'm here. And yeah, I love it. The weather is fabulous. Caribbean. You know.
Fantastic. And are you holidaying there, or what's the main purpose of visiting?
No, I've taken a big jump from, well, I travel a lot, but I decided Mexico's good because it's close to Hollywood, close to friends, you know, close to Canada where Orlanda is. And so, yes, I am going to actually see her in real life, you know.
Excellent. Wow, yeah. That's great. Well, I interviewed Orlanda for the first episode of Star Xpose TV, and she was saying you've been working together for so long, 10 years?
9 years. Close to 10, yeah.
Nearly 10 years you've worked together, and you've never actually met in person.
In person, that's right. And I can't believe the time has just gone so fast, and we still have not met. And with all my traveling, you know, I'm thinking, wow, how come we didn't meet, you know? Anyway.
Yeah, that's great. So when is that going to be happening? How soon are you going to be meeting up?
Well, it was going to be in July when they were, you know, doing a shoot up there in Canada. But it's actually set for September now. So I have to decide where you know, when I'm going to go. Probably this summer.
Okay.
Summertime. I don't want to be in Canada when it's cold. In winter, yeah.
Yeah, excellent. And you are a huge traveler, and we'll have to interview you for one of my upcoming shows, Travel Xpose TV, about some of your travel adventures.
Absolutely.
We'll definitely chat about that. However, today it is about, the topic is how to create a film from start to finish. So maybe we can just share a little bit about your story, about how you became, you know, fascinated with film from, you know, from a young age, I would imagine, and how you got to actually become a screenwriter now.
Well, I always been writing of some variety, you know, but in the back of my mind, I always wanted to be a screenwriter. I wanted to write for film, you know, and I tried it a few times, but I never knew how to do it. So I kind of did all this and did all that, you know, other things, and, you know. And then when I found Screenwriting U with Hal, who's an excellent teacher, he actually put pieces together. He said to me on the first thing, okay, hello, how are you? And I said, oh, you know, I'm so-and-so. And he said, he said, what do you know? And I said, I know absolutely nothing. So that's where it all started, and I felt really, I didn't know how to format, I didn't know how to do anything, like, you know, and so, you know, we were taught like how to do this, that, and did a course, and, you know, and it kind of like sort of came together. And what was the rest of the question?
Oh, basically how you became a screenwriter. So you did this course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that was the starting. Yeah, the start.
Yeah, so that was at Screenwriting U in LA, and that was about a 7-month course you were sharing before.
Yes, yeah, pro writing series. Yeah, and it's fabulous, and I recommend it to everyone because it's brilliant, you know. But anyway, and I was in China, you know, and it was in that kind of like that place, and I thought this really needs to be written up from, you know, it's unbelievable, the cultural side of it, the political side of it, you know, and it was just such a turnaround from the East versus West. And so I wanted to write it, and I thought about writing a book. But I'm going to do that, you know, and, you know, yeah, I can screenwrite this. And so that was my first script, which is Welcome to China. And I made all the mistakes, absolutely every mistake that's possible. And then I met Orlanda, and I did the course, and she's also in, you know, Screenwriting U. So that's how we met, which is whatever. And she helped me because she'd written so many scripts prior. And yeah, we just hit it off, and we became the best of friends and still are. And it's been fabulous, you know, so yeah.
Fantastic. And when you say you made every mistake you could make, I guess to actually make that judgment call, you would need to know, you know, what is not a mistake and what is a mistake. So what are some of the things you learned, and what were the mistakes that you made?
I keep saying format, you know, but then with Screenwriting U, they took us to Hollywood. We went to, you know, to all the big studios, and we sat around the boardroom in Sony, for example. We went and met a whole lot of independent producers, that is, and directors, all that sort of stuff. We learned the business side of it, and all that was great, but what to do, what not to do. You know, I don't know. Yeah. All the mistakes in this actual writing side of it was format, okay? It was about structure, and I didn't realise there was like a cookie cutter thing, if you like, if you wanted to use it. Not everybody does, but yeah. And then I went, oh yeah, right, all the beats and things like that. So, and I could see it because I watch a lot of movies, don't I? You know, who doesn't? And I could see it all. It all came together. So it's about the heart. You've got to have a heart in a movie. You know, you've got to have the voice of the character. You've got to appeal to, for me, to the audience, emotion, things, you know, all of that stuff. It's like poetry in a way. It's like, you know.
Yes. Okay. And when you say format, what do you mean exactly? Can you elaborate on what is the correct format for a feature film?
About headers, you know.
Right.
It's just, yeah, slug lines, I call it sometimes. It's about what to leave out, like the prose, which book is full of prose and all that stuff, pretty words and all the rest. You drop all of that out, and you got to write that way. And dialogue, show don't tell. That's one of the big things. So, you know, you can't have a whole lot of dialogue describing this, that needed this, and Fred did that, and Joe did that, and blah blah blah. You know, it's got to be like, for me, you got to always have it in your head. Okay, how do I show this? How do I show this? Because everything you write for the camera, you know, and every shot, every sequence, every scene, you know, and it's all about camera. So, and I think we got even to a point where we're kind of like thinking like a director in a way. With Orlanda and I, we kind of laugh about all that. So we say less words. And,
yeah. Okay, interesting. And how many pages would a feature film screenplay go for, roughly?
Well, say if it's a comedy, because I write comedy, you know, and I also write I write all sorts, but my first one was a comedy, so I mention it. And that's another mistake. I overwrote, which I had to kill about 30 pages. But for a comedy, they say that it's about 90 pages or something like that. It still, you know, depends on who's buying or who's not. But for, you know, a sci-fi or a big budget thing, it could be, you know, 120, 30, whatever. And it depends on genre, It depends how much action time, but usually it's 1 page per minute. When you're writing, you have that ballpark there as you write.
Right. Okay. So you've also got Rogan'sWar and Mr. Forever. So how long are they sitting right now?
Beg your pardon? How long?
How many pages are they at the moment? So different.
I haven't looked at. Well, I think it's about 120. I think, is it? I don't know. 110, 120, between 110, 120 pages for the thriller, you know, sci-fi and all that political thing. So that was a big story. It was big, you know, all that sort of thing. But
yeah, got it. Okay.
But when we moved to the Mr. Forever, which is again with the comedy elements in that, I think we had to shrink it down to about 90 pages, something like that, from memory.
Okay. So for someone who's watching this now and they want to create a film, they want to screenwrite a whole film, where do they start? What's the best way to go about it?
The first thing they have to do is learn how to format. Go get the Bible, you know, format Bible. You know, I can't remember who wrote it now, and it's probably going to kill me, but yeah, that is huge and fantastic. There's a few of them like that, but you must then get the book and check it out. It's like it's a textbook. That's what it is, you know. So formatting, start with that. People have come to me and can you look at this? And I say, yeah, sure. I look at it and I'm thinking, oh my God, you know, it's like the headers is a big thing. You got to get the dialogue right, the action lines, you know. Yes, basically that's your biggies. Once you've got the headers there, you can follow through where they are, because it's harder to read a script for most people than read a book, you know.
What about the whole storyline, you know, the character formation, all of that sort of thing? Like, how do you come up with a storyline and how do you keep it interesting all the way through?
Well, with Rogan'sWar, that started with the idea. It just started with, I was talking to Orlando and I said, you know what I'd really like to do is, you know, the story. And I said, I'd love to just to kill everybody, you know. We kind of, that's how that started, seriously, you know. And then we both started laughing. And Orlando said, well, let's look at that. And I went, yeah, let's do that, you know. I just want to see it, you know. And it was a dystopian society, obviously, you know, and everybody was killing but it was actually, we talked about a power structure, you know, like the President of the United States. My hands are going everywhere, sorry. Yeah, right, okay. Okay, so you got the President, you know, kingpin in America, right? And he's the one, everything. He had his goal, and so he didn't care who got in his way and all that. He had a twin brother, and, you know, things happen, you know, so, yeah. They didn't agree on things, so.
Right.
But we took it to extremes, we really did, and a lot of people, American people, didn't want to read. They said, whoa, a president wouldn't do that, you know. I went, yeah, I think they would, you know. So we just kept writing it. No, you know. We had to do a rewrite, of course, because it ended up, you know, so whatever. But
so how do you come up with your ideas? So with the Welcome to China, I guess you worked there for 2 years. So how did it go?
Oh, that was amazing. Yeah, exotic, you know. It was incredible. I was gobsmacked, you know, just seeing the way they lived, the way they worked, the political landscape as compared to Western world. The students were amazing, you know, because I was teaching English there for 2 years, and I'm not a teacher, right? I'm a writer, you know. So there I was standing up on the class. I'm going, yeah, you know, and all I had to do was get them to actually speak, because I taught Tibetan students and Chinese students, you know. And it's really hard to get people to speak. They're just, you know, I don't know where to go with this. So anyway.
Well, I guess just, you know,
cultural clash.
Where did the inspiration come from? So what specifically was happening in China that you thought was really interesting about the culture, and, you know, what sort of things?
It was just weird. It was just totally weird. And you take weird and then it gets more weird. Yeah, and then you go, holy crap, I've seen this. I've got to write this, you know? I mean, come on, you're begging to be written, so I'm doing it, you know? I mean, this is crazy, you know. But after a while, like after a year or so, it was no longer crazy. It was just became the norm, and I'm kind of like at the end of it, I'm going, wait a minute, this is regular. When I went back to the West, I couldn't understand a whole lot of the things that they did in technology, because the biggest thing in China was you got plastic cards, you know, ATM cards, and you want money. It don't work. It just does not work in China. You know, if you're from the West, you're probably going to work in Beijing and Shanghai and the big cities, like, you know, but you go out and everything totally changes. So, and like I said, and I think I had in Welcome to China, we had students and Westerners. Nobody understood anybody, their thinking, their way of life. We got a taxi and they called us decadent. We ate KFC, they went, ooh, wow. You know, things like that. It was really fun and crazy and amazing, and I would never, ever not do that, you know, what I did, you know. It's incredible.
Were there people doing Tai Chi at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. in the street?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And the tinny music, roll out the barrel, you know, I'm going, oh, my God, you know, and the toilets there, they got the pit toilets, you know, and right. I'm going, oh, no, I'm going home. Seriously. And all these scenes I've got in Welcome to China, and I'm thinking, I can't do this. I can't. Yeah. Let's tell it. You know what it really is like. It was really weird. It was fun. Absolutely, I love the country. It was very strange.
Yeah. I went to China myself about 20 years ago. I played table tennis.
Did you?
For Australia as a junior, and so I went to table tennis to play table tennis.
Table tennis, ping pong, ping.
Yes, and I remember the smell of those toilets. Oh my goodness, they were.
Oh yeah, we did.
Oh my goodness, you just had to hold your breath and just, you know, it was disgusting.
And if you wanted paper, you had to pay for it if it was there. Yeah, so it was still like it.
Yeah, and a lot of people were spitting in the street. You know, they were fully golling, you know, like really pulling it all and spitting everywhere in the street. It was really filthy.
Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah.
Nothing changed.
They're still doing that, and there's really strong Chinese cigarettes that people were smoking, just about knock you out.
I know.
So there's some of the more negative things. However, you know, the food was pretty good, although sometimes I didn't know what the hell I was eating.
I love Chinese, yeah. Well, when you're in China, you think, I'm going to have Chinese tonight. You know, don't eat me. You know.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Once I thought I was eating chicken, and I found out they're actually frogs' legs. So you never know what you might get on your plate in China. So just
you never know. The fish was pretty bad. I know. Oh my God, I think it must have been river fish.
Right.
So never have it from. I was near the Yangtze at one of the places, one of my units. And I heard, ooh, no, never eat fish in China.
Good idea. Well, I actually did a Guilin cruise in Guilin in China.
Oh, yeah. Funny, yeah.
They actually cooked a live fish in front of us. It was a pretty disgusting sight. However, and then a lot of us got sick after that. We got the tummy bug.
Yeah, you will. Yeah.
We got very sick.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of the not so positives of China. Welcome to China. We did a screen read with Michael Leonard Thompson as well, who we're starting.
Yeah, hi, Michael.
Show. Michael will be watching this, no doubt. So we did a play read of that, and that was awesome. It was a film read.
You like
and
it, yeah?
I thought it was a great script, and can't wait to see that. So now, what is the process? So you've done the well, maybe tell people a little bit about what Welcome to China is about, if you don't mind, and then where you go from here now with that.
Well, it's pretty well. What I did with that was the first part. Like the whole thing they call is, my main characters was a few of them, awesome foursome, Westerners teaching there, and they'd never been there, all of them. And, by the way, the students had never seen a Westerner before in their entire life. You walked in the classroom and they all started applauding, and clapping.
Wow.
And you sort of go, wow, what's going on here? And you look behind you and there's no one, of course. And they just clap and they're smiling and beaming. Hey, have you ever been into a classroom in Australia or in any country that I know that they're going to start clapping you? I'm going, yeah, this is my country. I'm a celeb,
Yeah, no.
So, yeah.
And they would have loved your blonde hair. I remember when I was there, I had blonde hair too as a 13-year-old, and they're all going Pialiang, Pialiang, which means beautiful in Chinese.
Yeah,
Pialiang.
that's right. And I feel your hair behind.
Yes. Yeah, they love the blonde hair. So
they sort of have the blue eyes.
Yes. So the process from here. So you've got the screenplay. So I guess you maybe fine tune it a little bit from here, and then where do you go?
Oh, definitely. Well, the interesting thing is it's about these Westerners there, and they teach, and they have to teach them how to win a reality show on national TV against other schools. And it's a bit like, this is School of Rock or whatever, but in a different kind of a way, because it's set in China. And I got it set up as the rich versus the poor colleges and things like that. And a lot of funny business goes on, and the teachers, But I don't know what else I can say,
Well, where
somebody comes to our help, I got a Kylie Minogue in there and a John Travolta. I don't know if I'm even going to use it, but yeah, they're there. All right. But yeah. And the mistaken identity, because the teacher, the blonde hair, blue eyes, is mistaken for Kylie Minogue. So yeah.
Nice.
That becomes all weird and fun. Yeah.
So what's the process from here, actually getting this into reality, to actually turn this now into a finished feature film? What's the whole process there now? What do you do with the script now?
Okay, it's most difficult. You write, you look at it, and you think, who's going to buy it? Who do I sell it to? So you're talking about one page, you're talking about query letters. If you've never pre-sold anything, if you're a script writer and you have you don't have any more, you haven't got anything, nobody knows you, you're nobody. It's really difficult to break through because it's so competitive. So what do? I mean, what we do is sort of what we do, Orlando and I, we don't ever mass query letters or one pages to everybody, because we've learned that we'll send it. We have a comedy genre or a sci-fi genre. We would only send it to a producer or whoever, some company who do sci-fi. So genre to genre, you match them up, because they're the only ones that are ever going to possibly make it, because they're kind of branded as sci-fi people, and so we did our research that way.
Right, that's interesting. And how do you find those producers or companies? What's the best way to search for those?
Research.
Google?
A lot of research. There's books. There's IMDb Pro is what we use a lot, and we see who's been doing sci-fi, who's going to be doing sci-fi. You get their names. They're not they're people in the background. They're not in front of a camera, so you don't know them. It's not going, okay, who are you? So it really does take a lot of research to who you're going to approach, who do you have a chance? I don't want to waste my time sending it to, you know, if I've written a sci-fi, who am I going to send it to, you know? So at the moment we're writing the trilogy, you know, and we're sending that to, we'll be going to, who was it? Oh God, I don't know. Epigon Pictures, who are also doing Mortal Guard, of course, and which we're all waiting to see. But yeah, Epigon Pictures is my favourite at the moment, you know.
That's great. And are you actually personally doing that pitching, or are you going to find someone else to do that for you?
We personally pitch because, you know, I mean, yeah, good question.
Yeah.
Well, I think the best way for those that don't know, you know, I think the best thing is if you know somebody, you've got a better chance if it's a good script. It doesn't matter who you know if it's not a good script. They're not going to push you forward, you know. And it's all about money, finances, you know, these days, box office, distribution. These are the important things, and they won't spend a dime on your script. A, they don't know you. B, it's not my genre. C, is it going to put bums on seats? That's what it's all about. You know, doesn't matter how artsy it is.
Right. What types of films are actually currently most successful at the box office?
At the moment, I actually took my eye off the ball, but some years ago, drama, you don't write a drama because no one's going to buy it, right? But I think that's picking up a little, but it was on the bottom of the list. Sci-fi was up the top, you know, like big budget movies, productions, all the, you know, like the Supermans and Batmans and all that, they are all going to sell, and they kind of know that. Nothing bombed there. You know, Caribbean, Jack Sparrow, of course, again, big budget, but it's guaranteed. That's why they keep making more of them. So that's the way I see it, at least.
Okay, and with the back to the pitching process. So, okay, so you found someone who does sci-fi, for example, that you want to pitch to. What's the best way to do your pitch? Do you send an email? Do you phone them? Do you have a meeting? What's the best way to go about it?
Just keep it short, get your hook, and that's what you need. And the pitching things, or the one pager, is getting shorter and shorter, and because, you know, they don't want to read, all right? You send them a letter, and they used to be all nice, like, hello, how are you, blah, 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 no, you know, all this nicey stuff, but really, hook, more or less. And then if they're interested, they'll come and ask you, you know, they'll contact you, but you need a little bit more than a hook, obviously, but, you know. But I think the character will draw them in, things like that, and what's going to happen. So
a short email, basically outlining that, a short introduction.
No, I don't send emails, but, you know, like we said, we research and find out our genre, and then we pick those out, and then we spend a lot of time on titles, we spend a lot of time on log lines, and they get changed a lot, you know, and you know, one pager, and we try to keep it smaller, and because we made all those mistakes with writing long ones and things like that, and we realized, so I don't know, somewhere along the line it kind of hits you and you go, you know, that they're not interested in that. You've got to grab them, and that's what Hal, if you can get a log line in 3 days, with 3 words, that's the high concept, which is, you know, 10 is the highest, and you know, so you know, they've probably got a sale, you know.
Okay, so So you don't do an email. Do you send a letter in the post, or do you just phone up?
No, no snail mail, no. I suppose, yeah, I suppose we did send through, yeah, I guess we did, I told her. With Rogan'sWar, we did send out some emails, but not in the shape of emails, you know, they're just one pages. But yeah, it was sent through internet, yeah, over the net.
Right, right. Okay, so you did send some emails, and then you follow up and you see if you can get a meeting, or what's the best way after that?
You wait for them to contact you, and they say, you know, give them time to read. If you want to, you can ring, or, you know, email them, and, you know, they say allow at least 2 weeks for that before you follow up. And yep.
Right, right. Okay.
And the other best thing is to ask, you know, why is it, if it's rejected or something like that, it's really nice to get some feedback, you know. You know, in an ideal world, it'd be great, yeah.
And is there some better times to pitch? Because the LA filmmaking season is at certain times through the year, isn't it?
Yeah, Orlanda says, like, I think it's about in the fall or something like that. Although I think we've been talking about that recently, and I think it's changing as well. So I don't think I know anything that much about it. It's changing. Things change.
Okay, so any time's probably a good time to just get it out there. And then, you know, what kind of money can you expect to sell something for? Like, you know, what's...
Oh, no, that's out of, yeah, I don't know. No. That could vary between $1 million to $1. So
right.
That's why I'm laughing. Sorry.
$1 million, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And mostly they option your script, which means they have it for a while. They could ask you, would you take $1 for it, and, you know, and the maybe thing. And there are two minds on that. I don't really go there for now, at least. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and what about, can you let us know a little bit more about Rogan'sWar? So we know it's a political thriller sci-fi.
Oh yeah, it's my
favorite. About that storyline and what happens in that.
Well, I should know the log line off by heart, but I haven't looked at it for a while, apart from our read, you know. It's about, okay, it's based on what if, you know, it's set in the near future, but now we believe, like when we wrote it back then, it could happen now, but it's based on GMO, but we've not made it like, okay, start again. It's about GMO and how it's affected people, and they're all dying and stuff like that.
Which is genetically modified foods, right?
Yeah, oh, that's right, yeah. And the only thing that could save them is by not eating anything with GMO, and the only thing is organic, and those few that swear by organic and do their own gardening and things like that, that was the thing. Although we didn't make it the biggest thing, it was about the people, how they act and react within it, you know. I mean, we've got teenagers committing suicides and having suicide games and one-night stand bars, and, you know, we kind of like took it to the edge. We also have the doctor who works with, he's a bit of a, the doctor works with the president and cloning, and there's a bit of this in humanics, and I don't know. Yeah, such a sci-fi. And I don't want to say too much. What do you think? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not good at this. I'm not a good pitcher, by the way.
That's right. Well, there's that one when we need to keep some of it a mystery. And then we've got Mr. Forever, which is a supernatural comedy. So just a little bit about that one. How did that come about?
Well, that's another one of those, you know, like I said about Rogan'sWar, I said, I want to kill everybody, you know, I want everybody dead, see what happens, you know. So almost everybody, anyway. With Mr. Forever, I said, no, what I like, pretty much same scenario, some years later, you know, I said, I really like to write about somebody who lives forever, you know. So that now we've got Mr. Forever, you know, which is supernatural and, you know, all that sort of stuff. So the demon and, you know, the comedy.
Yeah, great. And now when it comes to actually putting the whole script together, when you're coming up with your ideas, do you use any things like I know when some people write books, they use Post-it notes, and each chapter they'll do a Post-it note for that chapter heading. So with the script, you'd have a certain theme or certain characters or highlights or ups or downs or you know, through the script, I guess. So how do you kind of keep that flow there with the script? Do you have anything? Do you use things like Post-it notes or to actually put it all together, or you do it all in a Word document? How does that process?
Yeah, we do an outline, of course, which changes invariably. But we start with character and, you know, like their traits, you know, and we give him a trait where he has to overcome the main characters, especially, because you've got antag and protag and clashing, all that, conflicts and things. So, yeah. Oh no, what did you say? Sorry,
it's early in the morning.
I'm in Mexico.
It's probably bedtime for you right now, Kaz, so thank you for hanging in there with us. You probably
No, that's okay. Yeah, I just kind of, yeah, right. Because you're asking me questions that I haven't had to think about it for so long, you know.
Yeah,
that's okay. Yeah, right, yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, let's look at this.
How to keep it alive.
That's okay. That's okay. Thank you for hanging in there with us so early in the morning. Now,
that's okay.
Let's look at, you know, you talked a little bit about format. So in the course you did at Screenwriting U, you also looked at structure. You looked at how to find heart and voice for the characters. So what are some tips you can give us on how to find heart and voice for the characters?
Well, you've got to dig deep. For me, you know, the heart, you can write a whole story about events and things and that, you know, but if you've watched it from beginning to end, you know, the movie, and it hasn't tugged at your heart, you know, or made them feel emotion, you know, you haven't shown the heart of the character, you know, why he's bad, why he's good, you know, what made him, his motivation, all of that sort of thing. And I am you know, I like the bad guy personally, and I like to play with the bad guy. But I don't like totally good or totally bad guys. I like grey characters who, you know, good guys can be bad and bad guys can be good. That makes it much more interesting. So there's a bit of heart. And your voice in a movie as well, you have to be heard and above the crowd or something like that. So that will have the voice and the heart often together. Can be separate, of course, but I don't know. I'd have to give examples, which I'm trying to think of now. I think Rogan in Rogan'sWar, he had to battle his twin brother, the president, and that was a big task, obviously. But he went out and he did this. He did, you know, he tried to stir up the people and, you know, try to get them on his side, you know, the usual thing. So you've got to get people behind your character as best you can. You know.
And be moved. Yeah, people want to be entertained.
Yeah,
they want to
they want
to be entertained. They want to be moved in some way. It's the same when you're doing public speaking. You know, people want to be moved in some way. And for me, I always love a movie that can make me laugh and make me cry in the same movie.
That's right. Yeah.
So if you can get to that, if you can get to the highs and lows of human emotion in a film, then, you know, I think that's a well-rounded movie. Now, you're also co-writing on Skype. So this is doing the virtual writing.
Oh, yeah.
Co-writing parts 2 and 3 of the...
Now the easy questions.
Parts 2 and 3 of the Descendant Past trilogy. So you've got Battle Moor and Return to Battle that you're doing with Orlanda at the moment. And you have few co-writing challenges in the tech age as well, similar to Orlanda. So could you talk a bit about that, about what you're doing together there and how that is working for the two of you doing that virtually, completely virtually, since you've never met in person?
That's right. Well, you know, I guess I'd have to say, you know, I fell in love with Skype. That's number one. I think you have to love them because you spend a lot of time there, and you have to like your writing partner, you know, because you spend a lot of time with that, him or her. And I'm most fortunate that I have Orlanda. She's absolutely amazing, fantastic, you know, everything. And we're bloody good friends. So, I mean, I'm fortunate, you know, to have her. And yeah, so we talk about it. We do make notes, like you said, with Word, and we scribble this and scribble that, and we go, right, oh yeah, and then things will come out of nowhere, you know, and we both, you know, we have different minds, and yeah, you know, I play devil's advocate, she tells me, and I do, because I don't want it easy. I do want my our character, you know, to struggle, because I learned that's what you got to do. You know? Yes. And I don't mind my main character being beaten in the end. I really don't. Everybody wants them to win. I don't care, you know. I mean, if he deserves to die, he should die.
All right.
But how's he going to die? Yeah. Well, my way. You know.
Yeah.
But with Orlando, yeah. And so we have a lot of fun. We write, we laugh a lot. And we always get on. So, like I said, we're just lucky.
That's awesome. And so with that co-writing process, so will one of you have the script in front of you, and then you'll sort of run ideas by and say, oh, what do you think we should do next? Or does she work on a bit and then you work on a bit? How does that work?
Yeah. We've always written our scenes, different scenes for the same script, of course, you know, do we work on the same one at the same time? Yeah, I don't know. No, we both have the same. We have ideas, and I might come up with an idea, and then Orlando will say, "Oh no, I don't think that's going to work." But that we kind of bounce things off ideas. You know, we'll end up with one idea, but it could have bounced a few times, and wow, oh my God, let's do this. You know. And that happens for us. And then Orlando does exactly the same thing, and it works in reverse. So we're equal thinkers, you know, and we're so compatible in what we think about the world, about people, about society, about politics, about power struggles, about the bad people. Everybody's bad, you know. So let's have a few goodies, you know, or you know. I don't think we write Pollyanna, you know, ours usually big, powerful and punching, you know. Like Rogan'sWar, yeah.
Yeah.
That one.
You know, I love movies with a strong message. And I think that's great. If you can say something really powerful with a movie, you know, you can change the way that people do life sometimes, you know, like some movies.
Yes, exactly.
Movies have come out, or documentaries, and people have become vegan afterwards, you know, some of the animal cruelty documentaries, for example.
Oh, that GMO topic, if you like, even though we didn't make it primary, and it was underlying everything that happened to the people, but we did rest it all on the president, you know, how bad he was, the lengths he would go to, because his goal was to be something else. Hey, I'm president. Okay, what else can I be? Oh, well, maybe I could rule the whole world, you know. Right?
Yes.
That sort of thing. And so what he does, the lengths that he goes to, and I won't tell you what happened to him and his body and things like that. So it gets kind of a bit, wow, you know. And as we're doing with, what do we got? We got, and I have to read this, excuse me, but
that's okay.
Descendant Past, that's a trilogy, right?
Yes.
And that's a sci-fi. And the first one's called Journey to War. Number 2, Battle Moor. And 3, Return to Battle. And we have a female protag, you know, and she's the lead, and and we just love what we're doing with her. You know, it's growing. We seem to write the first one, and then we've always got a sequel. We've always got another one, and then we've got a mini series, things like that. You know, because we just love our characters that way. You know.
Nice.
And she's time jumping and all that sort of thing. So yeah, I love that.
Great. Now, apart from traveling so much, you've had quite an interesting background as well. Now, there's also a technical short film that you did here called One Shot. I've got in the bio here.
Oh, yeah.
Director, producers, Darwin Books and Wade Boys at Studio One on the Gold Coast. So with that, you wrote scenes with other co-writers. It was a community project. You cast actors, directed the actors for the scenes on set, and did wardrobe and even props. So what was that whole process like, actually working with a whole lot of other co-writers and putting all of that together?
Well, that was amazing. That was called Project One Shot, and it was, I don't know, for me, I thought I was going in just to write, but it didn't end there. I thought, okay, so we've written so many scenes. We had about 9 writers, you know. And we had 45 scenes to write between us all, and they divided it up, you know. So anyway, I had mine, and I had a co-writer as well. Oh, she's gonna kill me. Trish, yeah, Patricia, yeah, and she's fabulous. And so when we finished writing, we thought, okay, that's it, we're writers. And then they said, oh no, you're not done yet, you know, because Wade says, okay, now here's the actors. He said, you got to select, you know, audition, select, and for your scenes, and cast the actors, you know. So we did that, and then we end up on set eventually, you know, once everything's sorted. And I mean, I ended up, because it's, I don't know, the actual one shot is that the camera started on 0, you know, and it went all through Sanctuary Cove in Queensland. Yeah. And 20 minutes later, the camera said, you know, cut, you know, like, that's it, sort of thing. And that never stopped, and it was not edited. So that's what you're saying, the technological side of it, or the technical side of it. So that was all that. So while you've got a director up there doing his first 5 scenes and working its way down, and it's coming to yours, mine was at the end, my last 5 or 6 scenes or something like that. I can't remember exactly. And but the actors, they didn't have a director there with them, and they asked me because I was a writer, and they said, which I was surprised. And I thought, well, you're asking me? I'm just a writer. And they said, oh no, where do we stand? Where do we look? What am I supposed to be like? You know? And I've got, oh, okay. So yeah, okay, I did write that, didn't I? Yeah. And I ended up, you know, mini directing, if you like. I was also doing props. I was doing wardrobe for my actors and things like that. So I got the most fantastic experience. It was amazing. So I did, you know, we did a lot. I learned a lot. Yeah, I know how to do that.
Where did that short film go after you produced it?
They put it in the theatre. I think it was a Roxy in Warner Brothers. I'm not too sure. I didn't go because I'd already travelled, so I've been to another country, so Cambodia, I think I was, and at that time, and I don't know, it was fabulous, and I had fun. And because the other thing was, I'm not an actor, I'm a writer. So as I said, I came in just to write a little bit, and that would be the end of it. But no, Darwin said, "Do you want to do this role?" I went, "Oh." What was it? Like Tootsie. I played Tootsie, the old bikie. That's right. And with Susie Gall, she was a fabulous actor with me, you know. It's a lot of fun.
Fantastic. And you also wrote technical review articles for computer magazines many years ago, and worked as a breakfast presenter as well on radio for CCR FM in Cairns for about a year. So how did they come about, doing the technical articles and also doing the breakfast presentation?
Right. I was in Sydney when I was doing the articles. You know, I was big into like computers back in the day, were the cutting edge, and I was into Amiga computers, which nobody's, well, a few people have heard of it, but yeah. Anyway, I worked at Grace Brothers. I did all sorts of things, and I ended up managing the computer department in Chatswood. I was a computer consultant as well there. And I sort of outgrew that, and I got my own shop. I thought, why not, you know? So I did, and became like the people from ABC and Channel 9 and other things like that, you know. They came and, you know, I don't know. Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
Looking back at how did you start the radio show?
That's right, yeah. And then I sort of became known because that was in the early days of computers, PCs, home PCs and things like that. I used to work with computer graphics and things, which was new, from analog to digital, things like that. And nobody knew how to do anything. And they would sort of come to me, and I would write articles, and I was ghostwritten and things like that for Computer Magazine in Sydney, in Australia, sort of thing. And so yeah, I just did all that, and I was also editor for a magazine, computer magazine, but that was just, you know, computer club. That was in the early days.
Right.
The Commodore 64, the Amiga, yeah.
And you were actually the first female manager in the computer department of Grace Brothers.
Yes, I was, absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
And you were the first female computer consultant there in the late 80s, early 90s.
That's right, exactly, yeah. 1987, I think. Grace Brothers, Chatswood, yeah.
And then you went on and you owned your computer store, the Hard Disk Cafe, specialising in Amiga.
That's correct, yeah, Motorvale in Sydney.
You did videos, so really technological stuff here. You did computer training videos. And you were, that was virtually unknown at the time. You became known as one of only 2 experts in Australia at the time. Congratulations. That's
right. Thank you.
That is brilliant.
And
and the crows here are getting very excited about that too, as you can hear in the background here. They're getting
other crows where you are.
Crows where I am. I've got some crows that hang around the house here.
I don't have any kookaburras here either. I mean, for those just what? Yeah.
Now, the breakfast presenting on radio for CCR. So you did Radioactive Writers. Did you approach them to do that weekly show, or how did that one come about?
What happened was I was at uni. I went back to uni and got my BA and at Cairns University. That's far north Queensland. And I think, you know, I think somebody else was working on 4CCR, and I said, yeah, I want to do that, because I'm one of those people who want to do everything that I haven't done before. I don't know why. Just do. It's not it's not done on purpose. Just think, oh, that'll be interesting. I want to do that, you know. So yeah, I want to work on radio. I don't know why, but I did breakfast show, but I started off with rock on the Saturday night, I think about 10 p.m. for a couple of hours, whatever. And I love that, you know. And then they offered me the breakfast show on Monday. I did that on Monday, and a few other shifts as well. And then I did, when people were not there, I filled in and did all that. But I had to do my uni stuff at the same time. But what I did do, I wanted to be creative all the time, you know. And I thought, yeah, a great idea for a show called Radioactive Writers, you know. And so based on writers and who wanted to be, you know, whatever. So I'd bring them in, people in, the writers, and I would interview them, and I would have, you know, competitions and book. I'd tee it up with the book shops locally and give them something, you know, things like that. I did, you know, I don't know, it's just something that I like to do, new things.
Yeah, fantastic. And you're in Mexico now for, you're on holidays, I presume. What else are you doing in Mexico right now?
Well, I'm writing, can't you see?
Oh, yeah. Which is great. You can write from anywhere in the world and travel as well. And now I hear that parts of Mexico are very dangerous. So I presume you're not in the dangerous parts. Have you seen any dangers while you've been over there?
Not yet, no. Okay. But I've been to all other. I've also spent I lived 2 years in Cambodia, and that's really, you know, dangerous too. Here, I did a bit of research, and I came to the Riviera, and I'm told that what can I say? It's more safe than other places.
Right.
So I went, yeah, that'll do, you know. So I took this. I also, here's something more interesting. You know how people do travel insurance? They buy travel insurance.
Yes.
They say if you go to Mexico and a lot of other countries nearby, you know, don't worry about health insurance. Buy kidnapping insurance, you know, because, well, I don't know. I read The Lonely Planet, and they said like there's about 10,000 people who have been kidnapped, you know. So I went, yeah, well, I don't want to do that, you know.
No.
Anyway, I take the risk either.
Yeah. Yes. Well, that's part of the adventure of traveling, I guess. You know, you don't know what's around the corner. But that's where, you know, the tips online are always good. Always Google wherever you're going to and see what other travelers say about those areas, and go from.
Yeah, well.
So
last year, sorry, I was going to say last year I was in Morocco. Everybody said don't go there. I always go to everywhere. All these places where people say don't go there. So I mean, half the time I don't even tell my family, don't watch.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be concerned. So you've definitely got that adventure.
My daughter worries.
Your daughter worries?
Sorry.
Were you saying?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's great to have that adventurous spirit. It keeps things exciting. And I must say, whenever I'm away, I get a hell of a lot of work done. So I really.
That's true. Yeah, I take my work to the beach, and I get served. You know, I had those lovely sun lounges and umbrellas, and I act like a tourist. But I got my work. You know, I got my recorder, I got my cell phone, and I take like this paper, and I'm writing a Santa script as well at the moment. So that one, because that's goody, I think. I'm having fun with that.
Okay.
A Santa Claus and the elf. That's all I'm saying.
Nice. And what's your ultimate goal, I guess, with all these the screenplays you've done? What's the big goal at the end of all this? What would you be happy with these screenplays?
I don't know. First thing is to keep breathing. That's my goal. Have fun, travel, and write. It's like Orlanda said. She said to you, I think, that we've had meetings at so many airports or anywhere else. As long as we've got a tablet or a laptop, or, you know, we'll have a meeting. And, you know, last year I had 13 hours at Barcelona airport, and Orlando was there for all of it. And we got a hell of a lot of work done on Mr. Forever. Yeah. That's so much fun.
If you were to sell these screenplays, how would that be for you? How would that feel if you actually?
Well, we're looking at you know, Epigon Studios, which is my favourite, and they're looking at our trilogy. Well, Orlando, she wrote the first one. I'm just working with her on second and third, and we don't know where it's going to go from there. But yeah, I think I don't want to think too far ahead, but I got my fingers crossed. I think that's the best way to approach it, because that's just the way it is.
Yes.
It's a funny business. Yeah, screenwriting.
Yeah, I guess you just do the best you can, and then you know, go.
I think so. And keep writing.
Yeah.
Keep writing.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Kaz, we come almost to the end of the show. We can chat for ages, you and I, and thank you so much for hanging with us. It's probably nearly 2 a.m. where you are now.
That's nothing.
So
not a problem. Actually, I feel fine.
I
thought I
good.
wouldn't, but I am.
That's good. Excellent.
How are you?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling okay. I've had a big day.
That's good.
You know, every day seems to be a big day lately, so that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
So I've got Michael coming in soon. We're going to be doing movie review TV shortly. So
I do want to know about that.
Yeah, we'll be looking
at
that. So it'd be great to review your movies once they come out on the big screen. So we'll see what happens there down the track. And
absolutely. That's what we're working on.
If people want to connect with you, how can they find you, Kaz?
On Skype. I don't know what. I should say Facebook. Facebook is a good one. Yeah. Yes. Kaz Drysdale, the only one on Facebook with that name. That's me. I don't have it. My phone keeps changing, so it can't be that.
And Twitter?
So it's just
Twitter. You're on Twitter?
Twitter, yeah. Facebook, where you'll find me, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at replying. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great. Any final words you want to say to our viewers? And thank you so much if you're watching this now.
Sorry.
Yeah, any final words for our viewers right now?
I don't know. If you're a script writer, just keep writing, because you're going to get a lot of knockbacks. But if you love it, do what you love, and you just keep learning. Because the one thing that Orlanda and we agreed on only today, that it's funny how we never stop learning, and when you actually process all those new things and in the business, because the business side of it's the hardest. And not the writing so much, but yeah. So you just got to really plug in and try to get to know somebody, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, great. I think it would make it a lot more fun having a partner.
Just be nice and be professional. The one thing that Hal said, always be professional in all ways when you're having dealings with people. I know I joke around a lot and forget what you said and all that sort of stuff. But when it gets down to the nitty-gritty, you really, really got to be able to be that person that they can work with,
Yeah.
So, and that's what it's all about, I think. They want to work with you, because if they don't, you've got nothing.
Yeah.
You're so screwed, yeah.
Yeah, and I guess the creative process would be a lot of fun with writing. You're creating from
that's the fun part.
You're creating from thin air, aren't you? So
yeah, I know. That's the fun part. Yeah. That's the easy part for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just love it. Yeah.
Awesome. And that's one of the secrets to success. And in fact, all the famous people out there that I know that I've interviewed. Hugh Jackman, Russell Crowe, etc. People I've interviewed, they all love what they do. They're all very passionate.
That's it.
Debbie Harry from Blonde. They're all
the secret.
Yes, very passionate and very out there, loving. Loving.
That's right.
And that will keep you going. And it's it's not about the money. However, the money will come if you love what you do.
Money's nothing. Yeah, money's nothing. Not to me, at least.
Yeah.
I know it might mean to other people, but. To me, I think you just said it right. The passion and enthusiasm. What you bring. Whether it was when I was doing computers, I was just enthusiastic about that, and I love my computers absolutely, and I love my screenwriting. Screenwriting with Orlanda. The writing itself is the creative process that really, fires me up, at least. Yeah. The passion.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you so much, Kaz, for being with us and sharing your wisdom and your story. It's been awesome to have you on the show. And for anyone who's watching this right now, thank you for watching. If you've got any questions, comments, any feedback, we would love to hear from you. So please pop that underneath the video wherever you're watching this right now, whether it's on Facebook or Google Plus or YouTube. Wherever you're watching this, love to hear from you. And if you like what you see and you would love to share the love, that would be awesome. So please just share this video as well and comment, and love to hear from you. So thank you so much, Kaz. People can connect with me, of course. If you're watching this, you can connect on all the social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google Plus, Instagram, Pinterest. They're the main ones I'm on. I'm also on Snapchat, which I don't do a hell of a lot with. However, I am on Snapchat. And and Instagram, and my media website, which is aaxposc.com. Just search Media Queen or Aldwyn Altuney and you will find me online. Thank you so much for watching. It's been awesome to have you with us. Any final words, Kaz?
Thanks for having me. It's been wonderful and I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been awesome to have you on the show, and we'll have to do
fun.
shows down the track, I think, and see how you go with these projects, and do some updates, I think, down the track, and maybe maybe we do an interview with you and Orlanda together on the one show, possibly.
Oh, I'd love to do that.
I'd
love to.
Yeah. Awesome. Yep. Fantastic. So stay tuned for that. And if you haven't subscribed to Aldwyn Altuney on YouTube, then please do that as well if you haven't subscribed yet, and you'll get all the updates and notifications of future shows. Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world, or night. And here's to making the most of your life and loving what you do. And if you don't love what you do, then do something else, because if you don't love it, you won't last in that and you won't enjoy it. And life's too short not to enjoy what you do. So that's my advice for today, is love what you do. And if you don't know what it is that you love, just notice when time flies when you're doing something. Then that's most likely because you really enjoy it. So if time's flying when you're doing an activity, then that is a sign that you love that, and look for a way that you can make that work for you and do more of it. So thanks again for joining us. Star Xpose TV. I'm Aldwyn Altuney. We've been speaking to Kaz Drysdale, and it's been absolutely fantastic, all about how to create a film from start to finish, and giving you some great insider tips today. Thank you so much, Kaz from Mexico, Aldwyn from the Gold Coast, signing out.
Adios.
Adios, amigos.
Adios, amigos. Yeah. I used to be ciao, but now it's adios. Okay, mate.
All right, bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.